Boruto episode 87 review. This episode was definitely, and I'm gonna say definitely without a doubt, the best episode of this whole arc. I know a lot of you guys are like kind of down this arc. You guys want to get to the next arc, but let me tell you guys, if you guys haven't seen this episode, I highly recommend you guys go back and watch this episode because it is just that good. Like, you knew the episode was going to be good when the animators of the episode start getting on Twitter and bragging about how they actually animated on this episode. The same thing happened in Boruto episode 65, by the way. But in my opinion, I feel like this episode is arguably in the top 5 episodes of Boruto all time.
You what?
Of course, we do have a lot of good ones when we talk about the Momoshiki series, the Mist arc, a lot of good episodes. But I do think that this episode right here is arguably a top 5 episode of the Boruto series. I want to know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. I mean, just by looking at it aesthetically, the animations were good, the choreography was good, the abilities of all the characters in there was amazing. Things like that really got me excited, especially for the episodes to come in the rest of this arc, man, because you guys know this arc isn't over. They just got captured, so we should expect to see a lot more stuff heading on to the future. Now, a couple of things that I really liked about this episode, and the first thing, I was really surprised about how well the Genin, Boruto, Sarada, and Chocho handled the particle style that was thrown out from this guy Kakou. Now, I'm not going to say this guy was completely skilled in the particle style, mainly because he is a synthetic human being, and he's probably only been alive for about 1 or 2 years, so how much of a mastery can he really have? But nonetheless, it still is particle style. It still is one of the deadliest jutsus in all of Naruto, and Boruto, Sarada, and also Chocho handled it very, very well. Now, other things that I did like about this episode, again, the choreography and the animation. One of my favorite frames in the whole episode is this frame right here. You guys are seeing it right here. Where it's like Chocho hits the ground and she just pushes the rock towards Kakou. It's not anything super crazy, but you just see the fluidity in the animation and also the choreography that made that scene look absolutely amazing. Not only that, the hand-to-hand combat between Sarada and Kakou. The thing is, we knew that Sarada was good at taijutsu in terms of hitting hard. Of course, Sarada probably hits the hardest out of all of these Genin. You could probably make an argument for Metal Lee, but as of right now, let's just say Sarada hits the hardest. But in terms of a sustained, long hand-to-hand combat, I didn't think Sarada had the ability to trade blows with a character like Kakou. And of course, she proved me wrong. In my opinion, I feel like Boruto has one of the best taijutsu skills out of all the Genin. But in terms of Sarada, I mean, like, she really surprised me. Now, a couple of things that I do have to talk about in this episode. One of the main things being is Kakashi and Naruto, their plan moving forward into the future. Now, there's a couple of things I was a little bit confused about, mainly because when Naruto did tell Shikadai and everybody else, like, hey, we're going to make a plan to go to Hidden Stone Village, and we're going to basically have to alert the elders and everything. I thought originally, like normal, we do understand that Naruto was going to send some backup and everything, but Shikadai said something along the lines of, hey, we're going to get you to the Hidden Stone Village as soon as possible. Now, at that time, he was talking to Naruto. So this could tell me, you know, this isn't confirmed or anything like that. This could possibly be a glitch in the translation where Shikadai meant we're going to send some of our shinobis out there, but Shikadai said, hey, you're going to go to the Hidden Stone Village as soon as possible, something like that. And if Naruto goes to the Hidden Stone Village, I mean, like, what are we even talking about as of right now? Like, let's be honest. The arc is going to be over. Naruto's going to go there and destroy everybody and make sure nothing is wrong with the Hidden Stone Village. Let's be honest. Naruto could probably just turn the Hidden Stone Village into the Hidden Leaf Village Part 2. Naruto could be the new Tsuchikage. But at that standpoint, I do want to get some of your feedback in the comment section below, because as I said, I'm very confused about this situation. I don't necessarily know if Shikamaru was talking about actually sending Naruto. As I said, if they said Naruto, it's over. But one thing that makes me believe that Naruto is actually going to go out to the Hidden Stone Village by himself, or not by himself, but he himself personally is going to go out to the Hidden Stone Village, is that he summoned 2 former Kage, which means that if he were to leave the Hidden Stone Village, there are actually 2 former Hokages in the Hokage's office, plus Shikamaru, which basically has so much experience around the Hokage, and he could possibly even be the Hokage. That right there would give the Hidden Leaf Village stability if Naruto were to leave. Now, speaking of plans, one person that we didn't necessarily see in this episode was Konohamaru, and I was a little bit surprised about that, mainly because this episode was a very good episode. I thought that Konohamaru would probably be somewhere in the neighborhood, but understanding that they wanted to take Boruto, Sarada, and the rest of them in, and they didn't want to have Konohamaru probably interfere, because if he would have, Konohamaru would have probably saved Boruto. I kind of understand from that standpoint, but it was a little bit surprising that they didn't hand to Konohamaru, let us see exactly what he's doing, but they are giving him a chance to actually save Boruto and the others, so I'm happy about that. I really do want to see Konohamaru get into some action and not just have everything being taken over by Naruto if he does eventually goes to the Hidden Stone Village. Now, in terms of what I think Konohama can possibly do, as of right now, Konohama's going to have to be on his stealth mode. It's just one of him. There's like 1,000 Okudas, and he can't take on all those Okudas. So until he does get some backup, until he does get some reinforcements from the Hidden Leaf Village, or possibly even Naruto himself, he's not going to be too outlandish and probably like confront Lord Ku at the Tsuchikage's office. Now, this right here pretty much shows us the limit of the synthetic human beings. Now, I do want to say this very, very carefully, because there is a possibility that Kakou might just be the weakest of the bunch. Now, we have seen Seki fight before, but we all understand that Seki is pretty much like a more childish version of all the other synthetic human beings, and supposedly he might have actually been the weakest one. But in my opinion, I feel like Seki probably put up even a better fight, Malin, because before Seki even really got into the fight, Seki was already suffering from the cracks in his body, and he was already feeling a little bit tired. So I feel like this character right here, Kakou, might actually be the weakest one. But in terms of finding out exactly what their limit is, I mean, we have to take this into consideration. In my opinion, I feel like one of the toughest synthetic human beings that we're probably going to have to deal with outside of Lord Ku, because we already understand that Lord Ku is probably going to be Kage level. One of the toughest ones is going to be Kirara. Male Makashi has Genjutsu. Now, in terms of Genjutsu, the only person that really has any sort of experience and probably knowledge of Genjutsu around the bunch is going to be Sarada. Boruto doesn't really have any experience in Genjutsu, Chocho, Inojin, characters like that. Even Shikadai, I mean, let's be honest, they probably don't even know how to release a Genjutsu. And I'm going to even wire the spectrum. I won't even be surprised if Konohama wouldn't know how to deal with that type of Genjutsu. So I feel like if Kirara could possibly catch all of them in the Genjutsu and probably capture Sarada physically, it could probably be over for all of them. So I feel like in the future, we definitely do have to keep an eye out for Kirara. Now, this episode did also give us an emotional stance as well. As we know, the Drake Master himself, Boruto, with his Talk No Jutsu, he automatically understands that these synthetic human beings, they have a will, they have emotions, they do want to feel like they're actually humans, and mainly because Boruto's best friend is a synthetic human being. I remember that scene where Boruto was just laying next to Kaku's dead body. That right there is probably one of the most powerful scenes in all of Boruto, mainly because Boruto, not only is he sitting next to a dead person, Boruto can't imagine how that guy felt before he died. It's like this guy, in terms of actual shinobi in his own village, like Inoki, didn't even recognize him as being his own person, didn't even recognize him as having his own will. And I'm pretty sure that right there hurt Boruto, because he was the person to actually kill this guy, and this guy actually could not express himself the way he wanted to. That right there was a very emotional scene in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Now, I thought the ending scene was actually amazing. If you guys recall this part when Boruto was literally about to die, it zoomed into Boruto's eyes, Boruto's hair started flowing into the wind, and automatically at that point, you know, you guys might call me stupid, but I thought Momoshiki was going to pop up. I thought Boruto was going to see Momoshiki, and Boruto was going to get some sort of speech from Momoshiki like, hey, I didn't think you were this weak, you're going to die right now, something like that. And Boruto was going to end up absorbing the particle style with his karma seal.
What?
I don't know, I sound crazy, but that scene right there just had that feel of the actual scene where Boruto seen Momoshiki in his dream with his idol jutsu for the first time. Now, the last thing I do want to talk about, it seems like these synthetic human beings, they don't really respect Inoki like that. I feel like the only person that really respects Inoki has to be Lord Ku, mainly because Lord Ku understands, like, hey, that's his father. He was made to actually be Inoki. But I say this because Inoki told Kakou, like, hey, do not harm Boruto. I just want you to capture him. Kakou was literally about to kill Boruto. No regards for what Inoki was talking about. I feel like this could possibly be a trend going forward into this arc. And if it is, I won't be surprised, because it just doesn't seem like they respect him at all. But let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. I really think it was a great episode. As I said, arguably a top 5 episode of the Boruto series. Animation, the way it looked, the choreography, the art style, it was just amazing. But I do want to tell you guys, there will be no episode next week. I'm guessing they're taking a break for Christmas.
Wow.
So this was the last episode of 2018. And I do have a lot of videos to make during the break, because there's a lot of information that came out about Boruto, seeing as how Kishimoto and also Ikimoto had an interview at a panel recently. I'm not even completely sure what it was, but as I said, let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. Keep an eye out for the other videos that I do have to upload in the future. But it's been your boy Barbie, and we out.
It's a knife.
Set my clock, I can't stop.
Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols. Reaming my body, clothing no issue. Bitch, you look sick, you need a tissue. You drop a body, I just might bless you. I'm metrosexual, no high cholesterol. Where's Jenny Craig? Bitch, just get sexual.